Contrary to popular belief, iHeartMedia didn't pay Drake nothing. What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapp to CLBMG and join the membership. Listen, gang, this weekend, another visit from my wonderful brother-in-law, and one of the first things he told me, he looked me dead in the eye and said, "You know iHeartMedia settled, right? iHeart settled. You know what that means?" Yes, my friendly neighborhood Drake fan brother-in-law, who I love to death, but he is a Drake fan through and through, and he had to let me know straight up, it's coming. They starting to settle these suits, and he just walking them down, and sooner or later UMG gonna pay. I saw somebody on Twitter today say that they hope that Drake bankrupts UMG. He said, I can't wait. No, it was a she. I'm sorry. She said, I can't wait until Drake wins this lawsuit and he bankrupts UMG. I was like, sis, keep waiting, because it'll never happen. It will never happen. So what my brother-in-law failed to understand, and what I'm going to speak about, and a lot of people were in my comments yesterday because I did the video about Drake with the whole joke situation with Conan O'Brien, right? And Conan. I kept saying Conan. Everybody's getting it's Conan. I know it's Conan. Sometimes I over enunciate. Sorry. So the joke with Conan O'Brien, right? And I had mentioned that iHeart settled because that was the statement. I hadn't done at that point any research whatsoever. I just read the statement like everybody else that iHeartMedia had settled with Drake. Now, it clearly, in my opinion, from what the little bit I did see, there was no money exchange, but I didn't get into it yet to actually know that, because most of the Drake fans ran with this and they were excited. Just like my brother-in-law who came in my house, looked me dead in the eye, was like, you know they settled, right? It was a small victory, gang. But what I do, what the average Drake fan is not going to do, follow up, right? See, what happens is a lot of this stuff gets put out in the media a certain kind of way so that it'll sound good, so that they can run with it with the blogs, and they can run with it with the rambunctious fans, and they can just go out and it's a victory. It's a win. So they're using words like settlement. I'm going to read from this argument. We're going to have a conversation, because it's when you don't get nothing and you agree that nothing's there, that's not a settlement. But let me just read this. Drake has reached a private settlement. This is a press release. This is what they're telling everybody. They're using that word settlement. But let me continue. Drake has reached a private settlement with iHeartMedia after he sued the Texas-based radio company amid his ongoing claims that his record label Universal Music Group, aka UMG, made covert payments to promote airplay of Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us. How does he know? He doesn't. He was asking them to provide the information of their payments. But let me continue. The settlement was confirmed in a court filing in Big Sur County, Texas. Quote, petitioner and iHeartMedia Incorporated have reached an amicable resolution of the dispute to the satisfaction of both sides. That does not say settlement. It says an amicable resolution. Settlement in most cases means they agreed that someone's going to pay something to the other guy. I'm just going to be honest. A settlement, if I sue the board of directors of Nabisco because I bid a cookie and it had glass in it and it don't make the court and it's settlement, that means they paid me. That's a settlement. But let me continue. The filing obtained by Rolling Stone reads, in his underlying petition, the rapper sought oral depositions of iHeartMedia corporate representatives. So Drake, in this petition that he filed to the Texas court system or whoever, right, in Bexar County, Texas, he wanted their corporate representatives to take depositions, which means get on camera, get sworn in, and take a deposition. A legal deposition saying what they did and did not do. All right, so let me keep it moving. Quote, in exchange for documents that showed iHeart did nothing wrong, Drake agreed to drop his petition. No payments were made by either one of us, end quote. A source from iHeartMedia tells Rolling Stone. In a separate statement, Drake's legal team said, quote, we are pleased that the parties were able to reach a settlement. They're using this word. Drake's team is using the word settlement. Satisfactory to both sides and have no further comment on this matter. So it looks like they have exchanged some documents. Now, gang, I'm just going to be honest. These documents, if any documents were exchanged at all, they're worthless. They're the most mundane. It's Sally typing an email to Fred, and Fred responds, and then he CC's Sally Sue, and it's nonsense. Nothing in them emails, gang. If he got any emails at all, nothing's in them emails. Absolutely nothing. That's why they gave it to him. And they took the emails greedily and happily because they're saving face by just bowing out of this. Because this is a lose-lose. They're never going to get what they're asking for because they don't have any information on where to even start to get it. They know that these guys do this. They know who does it, but they're never going to have this in writing. They're never going to be an email. They're never going to hand you an email. They don't have to hand you nothing. They're going to give you all the scrubbed emails, right? Oh, it's Bob's birthday. Are you coming? It's going to be silly emails, inner office stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. And you can't make them dig any deeper. You can't do a forensic investigation because this is just a petition asking for emails and any information as if they're going to hand you incriminating information. So no, this was not a win. You got a bunch. If you got any emails at all, they were mundane and useless. But they greedily took them away and used the word settlement. So now it looks like, ooh, now we're getting somewhere. To the naked eye that doesn't understand, to read through this. I used to work in a lot of offices, gang. I used to do non-profit, for-profit, corporate offices. I did it all. And I know how to read this stuff. And I know these emails, they ain't gonna have too much crazy stuff in them. And they damn sure ain't gonna hand them over to Drake. Just gonna be honest. People don't write their crazy stuff in emails like that. So you ain't gonna find too much in an email. Okay? Let me keep this moving. UMG, the parent company for Drake and Lamar, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Drake separately sued UMG for defamation in January, alleging that the company launched a campaign to make Not Like Us a viral hit while knowing the song contained a false allegation that Drake is a criminal pedophile. He never called Drake a pedophile. Right? He never called Drake a pedophile. He said certified lover boy, certified pedophiles with an S. He was talking about whoever is in that crew. He didn't specifically single out Drake, but Drake is making it like I was called a pedophile. It just technically when you go to court, they're going to say that. They're going to use that. I'm just going to be honest. And he didn't even name Kendrick as a defendant in the paperwork. UMG has a March 17 deadline to file a possible motion to dismiss the defamation claim, which they probably will. They got to March 17th. Today is what, the 4th? You will probably see some type of paperwork to dismiss this case. In court filings, Drake has alleged that UMG Records funneled payments to iHeartRadio and its radio stations as part of a pay-to-play scheme. You mean promotion? Let me keep this moving. Drake said he already has sufficient evidence to pursue a defamation claim, but lacked the factual support necessary to determine whether he may bring claims of civil fraud and racketeering against UMG. So he has nothing. We're looking at a lawsuit that got nothing. He told iHeartRadio to hand over all the paperwork. They gave it to him. It ain't nothing but Sally Mae's lunch menu. It's nothing in there. So he didn't get anything to bring claims of civil fraud and racketeering because he has nothing. UMG damn sure ain't gonna give it to him. His filing in Texas alleged that UMG and unidentified co-conspirators violated payola laws, which he still haven't had any type of evidence to back it up or prove. He's just saying it because he knows they did it because they did it for him, but he don't know who actually is doing what. If he did, he would be like, well, it's Brian in the county. He would point them out. I'm just going to be honest. So let me keep this moving. Before it approved the release of the song, UMG knew that the song itself, as well as its accompanying album art and music video, attacked the character of another one of UMG's most prominent artists, Drake, by falsely accusing him of being a sex offender, engaging in pedophilia acts, harboring sex offenders, and committing other sexual criminal acts. Harboring sex offenders? All he said was, Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Gang, you're making this worse than it is. Because you're about to open up a whole lot of things in this courtroom. This thing ain't never going to court. Because when you say it accuses him of harboring sex offenders and committing other sexual crime acts. Drake's petition seeking the deposition reads specifically the song calls Drake a certified pedophile, a predator, and someone whose name should be registered and placed on Neighborhood Watch. These are all disses. These are disses, and you're suing over disses because you came with some really hectic stuff yourself. You accuse this man of being molested. You accuse his girlfriend of cheating on him. You accused her of lying about who his child is. You accused his best friend of being the father of his child. You said a lot of heinous stuff yourself, mister. Just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. You guys were playing the dozens. You were dissing him too. I don't know if you remember that. Called him short, among other things. You said a lot of heinous stuff, gang. You called him dumb and reactive. You said a lot of insults yourself, Mr. Graham. But I don't think he remembers the insults because he has a whole thing making these things into the greatest crime ever made. Let me continue. The battle between Drake and Lamar has become one of hip-hop industry's biggest feuds. Lamar performed Not Like Us at the Super Bowl halftime show on February 9th, and the beef was the subject of a joke at the Academy Awards. Yes, Conan O'Brien made a joke that wasn't directed at Drake or Kendrick. He said it's halfway in the show. Now it's the time for Kendrick to come out and call Drake a pedophile. That is not saying Drake is or not a pedophile. It's just a joke about something that happened in American culture. You can't sue him because you won't win. And you're not going to win this thing with Kendrick. And you won't even name Kendrick because you know this case is going nowhere. You're trying to save face by saying this against UMG. For what? They're doing their job? iHeartMedia didn't pay him nothing because there's nothing, he doesn't have nothing on him. Which he has nothing on UMG. All of this is trumped up. You're going to have to get in court and explain why Baca is still around. Right? I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. You're harboring sex offenders. They're going to say, well, why would he accuse you of that? And then UMG's lawyer is going to get up and say, well, the line actually says Baca got a weird case, so now we got to explain the weird case. I don't know why you opened this, gang. You opened up a can of, this is the literal definition of a can of worms. So no, just so you guys know, because somebody got to keep the score. These guys don't double back. Once the narrative comes out, his team is they're smart, gang. Because they know there is no second chance with these. When they drop these news stories or these little quips that they put out for the blogs to run with, there is no, once it says settlement, that's what it is. They're never. So now, from now until the end of this year, they're gonna say, iHeart settled with Drake. I wonder what he got. I even just saw it right now when I went on X right now. They were saying, Drake got the emails from iHeart. I wonder what the emails are gonna say. I wonder what dirt he has. They're so delusional, gang, that when they lose, they turn it into wins. This is a loss. You dropped the petition that started all this. You claimed iHeartMedia was co-conspirators. Now you got them out of the case altogether. Spotify's out. UMG's out. Everything you said with the bots and all that, they just actually, I'm gonna do another video. They just kind of low-key proved that Drake is the one botting. They've already removed his streams from Spotify. That's a whole nother video. Drake is the only rapper that got his streams removed from Spotify. But you know what they're gonna say? Spotify's lying. Everybody's lying. Everything is against this guy. But let me just say like this. This wasn't against him because they happily shook hands and both walked away. The so-called settlement, which is what I'm calling an amicable resolution, which means you got nothing on me, I got nothing on you. Let's just walk away now. I'll give you a batch of fake emails. That's all you get. About Thomason's them racquetball game that they're gonna meet up and play. That's all that's in these emails. Ain't nothing else in there, gang. You ain't even gotta read them. You can shred them. Because I'm telling you, there's nothing in there. But Drake fans gonna spin it. He settled. They settled. I wonder how much. They going crazy. He got a bag. iHeartMedia know they were wrong. He got a bag. They got nothing. But they won't tell you that. There'll be no follow-up. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I just want you guys to know we are still on the case because this is still a case that's ongoing and they're going to keep losing every single week. There's going to be another loss that they're going to put out a statement that makes it look like a win. Until this thing fizzles out and they drop it all together and then he drops this magical Act 2 record and then it all goes back to normal of just rapping and singing and whatever else they got going on. But it ain't going to never be the same. Right? Remember that? It was nothing was the same. I'm gonna leave it at that. CLBMG. I most certainly salute to the people that were asking about the membership. I got the memberships. Just check down below. The very first link in the description is the membership link. Make sure you join if you're rocking with the channel. I'm gonna start flooding that membership stuff when I get enough members. It's gonna be a lot of stuff you can't see unless you're a member. Just gonna be honest. It's just, I mean, it is what it is. That's how this membership works. I didn't invent the game. I'm just playing it. All right, I'm gonna catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
CLB.